Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we aim to turn financial jargon into plain English. And boy, do we have a dose of regulatory news for you today. Get ready because we're diving into Tenaya Therapeutics Inc. Its latest report, an 8K filing that has got some pretty significant news about their pipeline. Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we turn financial documents into your next investor insight, before we dive deep into Tenaya Therapeutics Inc. Its latest filing, if you enjoy getting straight to the point insights from these reports, make sure you are subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below where we break down these reports even further. So what is the big news from Tenaya Therapeutics, a company focused on developing medicines for heart diseases? Well, it seems the US Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, has hit the pause button on their clinical trial called MyPeak-1. This trial is for a drug called TN-201. Which is being tested for a condition called MYBPC3 associated hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Think of hypertrophic cardiomyopathy as a thickening of the heart muscle, which can make it harder for the heart to pump blood. The FDA is essentially asking Tenaya to amend the trial protocol. What does that mean in simple terms? They want to make sure that all the places where the trial is happening, all the different sites, are doing things the same way when it comes to watching patients closely and managing the drugs, used to prevent the body from rejecting the treatment. They want things to be standardized, like a consistent recipe across all the kitchens. Now this might sound scary, but Tenaya wants to assure everyone that this isn't out of the blue. They proactively talked to the FDA about their future plans for TN-201, and this request for an amendment came after that discussion. The FDA's decision is also based on information that was already reviewed by an independent safety board back in the summer of 2025. This board, called the DSMB, looked at the data about the drug's safety and concluded that TN-201 was safe enough to keep enrolling more patients at different dosage levels. Tenaya highlights that so far, Tennessee-201 has been generally well tolerated by patients, and since that safety board's review, there haven't been any new significant safety issues. This is super important because it suggests the problem isn't necessarily with the drug itself being dangerous, but more about how the trial is being run to get the most reliable information. The company is working quickly with the FDA to sort this out. They expect to restart patient dosing once the trial procedures are updated across all the sites. The really good news here for investors is that Tenaya doesn't think this hold will mess with their schedule for getting key results or delay the overall development of TN-201. They seem confident they can get this resolved relatively smoothly. Now for the part that always gets attention, the forward-looking statements. This is where companies talk about what they think will happen in the future. Tenaya is saying that they intend to resume dosing and they expect this issue to not impact data milestones or development timelines. But, and there is always a but, they also list out a bunch of risks. These include potential delays in getting the FDA to clear the hold, unexpected trial results, issues with patient enrollment, and the general hurdles of developing new drugs. They also mention risks like competition, intellectual property, and the need for more funding. It is interesting to note that they are registered as an emerging growth company and are not using the extended transition period for new or revised financial accounting standards. This means they are adopting new accounting rules as they come out, which can sometimes make comparisons to older periods a bit trickier, but shows a commitment to current reporting practices. While this report is primarily about a regulatory event and doesn't contain detailed financial tables to analyze, the core story here is about a temporary pause due to procedural standardization. This clinical hold on MyPeak-1 trial for TN-201, while creating uncertainty, is being framed by Tenaya as a manageable issue that won't derail their long-term development plans. Their proactive engagement with the FDA and the positive findings from the DSMB provide some reassurance. Let's touch on their listed securities, Tenaya Therapeutics Inc. Trading under the ticker symbol TENYA, has its common stock listed on the Nasdaq Global Select Market. This tells us they are a publicly traded company whose shares are available for investors to buy and sell on a major stock exchange. And finally, the report is signed off by Jennifer Drimmer-Rokovich, General Counsel and Secretary, dated the 7th of November 2025. This signifies the official reporting of this information to the regulatory bodies, looking at Tenaya Therapeutics Inc. From a broader perspective, this filing centers on a specific development in their drug pipeline. The FDA placing a clinical hold, even if it is primarily for procedural standardization, is always a point of concern for any biotech company. The story here is that while there is a hiccup, the company is presenting it as a solvable problem that shouldn't impact their long-term goals. They're trying to convey confidence that the drug TN-201 itself is on solid ground regarding safety, and the issue is more about the operational aspects of the trial. The fact that they don't expect delays to data milestones is a crucial piece of information they want investors to focus on. The risks they outline are pretty typical for a company at this stage of drug development. They're essentially saying we're moving forward, but healthcare is complex and unpredictable. My take on this is that while the clinical hold is a temporary setback, it appears to be a manageable one, at least according to Tenaya's assessment. The key strengths here are the company's proactive communication with the FDA and the positive safety signals from the DSMB. The main weakness, of course, is the inherent uncertainty that comes with any regulatory interaction in the pharmaceutical industry. The opportunity for Tenaya lies in resolving this hold quickly and demonstrating continued progress in their TN-201 program, which targets a serious unmet medical need. The risk is that resolving the hold could take longer than anticipated, or that further issues could arise from the protocol amendments. In conclusion, Tenaya Therapeutics, Inc. is navigating a common yet significant challenge in drug development. The situation with the FDA's clinical hold on their MyPeak-1 trial for TN-201 appears to be primarily procedural, and the company seems optimistic about a swift resolution without impacting their development timelines. Investors will want to keep a close eye on how quickly they can implement the protocol changes and resume dosing, and whether any new safety or efficacy data that emerges aligns with the company's positive outlook. Alright, that is our breakdown of Tenaya Therapeutics Inc.'s latest filing. What is your take on this clinical hold and what it signals for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives into corporate documents. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.